Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharmila, Department of Industrial Biotechnology, Bharat University. Today, I am going to talk about drying equipment in food process technology in the subject of food process technology. What is dryers? First, I would like to tell you about the definition of dryers. A dryer is a machine or apparatus that is used to remove moisture. It may be a small laboratory oven taking a few grams of moist material or a large industrial unit handling tons of weight that feed per hour. Okay, so a dryer is a machine or apparatus that is used to remove moisture. It may be a small laboratory on taking a few grams of moist material or a large industrial unit handling that is tons of wet feed per hour. Drying equipments. Uh, the dryer is a device that removes moisture by heating the mass to a level where it becomes safe to store. After we can't store the material with moisture. We need to remove the moisture content from the material that what we are going to store. Okay, so with the help of dryer, we can remove all the moisture content which is present in the substances or the material. The best dryers are used for solid throughout the flow below 50 kg per hour. The continuous dryer is preferred above 1000 kg per hour. Okay, so the drying equipments that here you can see, we can feed through the dryer. The moist will be removed with the heat. Okay, then after removing that, after removal of that moisture content, the dried product will be stored. Okay, right. Now I'll tell you what are the classification of dryers. The dryers can also be classified as per the scale of operation, source of energy, the physical state of the feed. So that the dryers we can classify based on the scale of operation. What we are going to, how we are going to operate, what is the method, that scale of operation. Then source of energy, what is the source, the energy source, what we are giving. And then that depends upon the feed, the material, what we are going to feed into the equipment. So the physical state of the feed. The drum dryer is an indirect type dryer in which the milk to be dried is maintained in a thin film on a rotating steam heated drum. Here you can see the selection of equipment. It depends on the physical or chemical properties of materials, production capacity, initial and final moisture content required. Then particle size distribution, temperature and drying, explosion and toxicological characteristics. So based on these characteristic features, depends upon these parameters that equipment we can select. Then when we are selecting the dryer, what are the general characteristics, general consideration? The dryer must be operate reliably, safely and economically. Operating and maintenance must not be excessive. The pollution must be controlled. Energy consumption must be minimized. Then classification of dryers. The dryers, the heat transfer mode, convection, conduction, radiation, dielectric dryer, combined modes. We can classify based on the heat transfer mode. In the convection, that is flash dryer, spray dryer, fluid bed dryer, cabinet dryer, tunnel dryer, rotary dryer, spooter dryer, and then conduction. If you see that drum dryer, agitated fan dryer, rotary dryer, trace dryer. The radiation, infrared shelf dryer, sun dryer. Then for dielectric, under this dielectric mode, micro oven, microwave tunnel, and radio frequency dryer. So the microwave, that last one, that combined modes, if you see that microwave convection, convective dryer, microwave spouted bed dryer, infrared convective dryer, radio frequency assisted heat pump dryer. So these are all the dryers based on the heat transfer mode. Then industrial dryers. What are the dryers that is most preferred by the industries? That is spray dryer. Then another one is tray dryer. Then fluidized bed dryer, flash dryer, drum dryer, vacuum dryer, tunnel dryer, rotary dryer, freeze dryer. Then spray dryer. The spray dryer provides a large surface area for heat and mass transfer by atomizing the liquid to small droplets. The spray dryer, it provides a large surface area for heat and mass transfer by atomizing the liquid to small droplets. These are sprayed into a stream of hot air so that each droplet dries to a solid particle. The drying chamber resembles the cyclone, ensuring good circulation of air to facilitate heat and mass transfer, and that dried particles are separated by the centrifugal action. Drying gas, you can see this dryer here, where this is the drying gas, okay. This is atomizer, this area, that is a drying chamber. Here liquid feed, we can put the liquid material that should be dried, okay. So that material should be feed into that way, and then after this, here it will be, this is a drying chamber. Here it will be dried. After that, the material, it will come to the dry particle collector. Here we can collect the uh, uh, here we can collect all the particles which is dried. And then the exhaust gas. Actually, the drying gas is applied through the pyrite. The drying gas only we are applying for dry the material through the drying chamber. Okay. After that, the drying excess gas, that is, it will go to the exhaust area. Okay. Exhaust gas, that is the outlet. Through the outlet, it will be removed. Then here we can collect all the dry particles collectors. Tray dryer. This is the tray dryer. It looks like a small tray, small tray. Okay. In this tray dryer, these types of dryers use trays or similar product holders to expose the product to heated air in an enclosed space. Okay. This type of, the tray dryer, this type of dryers use trays or similar product holders to expose the product to heated air in an enclosed space. The trays holding the product inside a cabinet or similar enclosure are exposed to heated air so that the dehydration will proceed. Okay, the trays are holding the product inside a cabinet or similar enclosure are exposed to heated air so that dehydration will proceed. Air movement over the product surface is at relatively high velocities to ensure that the heat and mass transfer will proceed in an efficient manner. Okay, air movement over the product surface is at relatively high velocities to ensure that heat and mass transfer will proceed in an efficient manner. That is operated as batch systems. Advantages, that is simple in handling, and then lesser capital cost. Next is fluidized bed dryer. Okay, fluidized bed dryer. This fluid bed drying is mostly widely used technique for drying pharmaceutical powders and granulation. So this fluidized bed dryer that is used for the pharmaceutical, mostly pharmaceutical preparation of pharmaceutical powders, right? Then the direct contact between particles and air gas is possible in fluid bed systems. Here, any type of inert gas or air is used. Any type of inert gas or sometimes normal air is used for this fluidized bed dryer. They can be designed in either batch or continuous type of fluid bed dryer. In fluidized bed dryer, the hot air is passed at high pressure through a perforated bottom of the container with containing granules to be dried. Actually, in the first point we have seen this fluidized bed dryer that is used for the pharmaceutical department, because there that powder, I mean we used to see that pharmaceutical product that will be very fine powder, right? So for that this bed dryer, fluidized bed dryer is used. So in fluidized bed dryer, the hot air is passed at a high pressure. So in the perforated bottom of the container, we can keep all the, I mean, the substances or any material that should be dried. It can be kept inside the container containing the granules to be dried. So under this container, the bottom of the container, we can see the perforation. Perforation means that is small holes. It will be there. So in the fluidized bed dryer, the hot air is passed at high pressure through a perforated bottom of the container containing granules to be dried. This is the batch fluidized bed dryer. Here, you can see the granules. Okay, this is the filter. After drying, we can collect this. I mean, this powders. Okay, here that wet solid we can feed through this way. Okay, then the heated air, we have to pass this heated air through that, so that the granules the pharmaceutical product will be dried with this heated air. After that, here we can collect the dry solid. Okay, and that exhaust air, it will be goes away from this container. This is well mixed continuous fluidized dryer. Okay, this is I mean, here we can feed the bed solids. It will go to the fluidized bed dryer. After this, lot air or flue gas is passed. Okay, so with this help of this thing, that wet solids particles that will be dried. Okay, here we can set another way, that is through that we can collect the dry solids. Then the top of this, the exhaust air, it will be removed. The hot gas surroundings every granule to completely dry them. The material or granule are uniformly dried. The hot air or gas used for drying can be generated by either steam coils or a combustion furnace. The angle of repose of gas solid mixture is 0, and it assumes the shape of vessel that contains it. Uniform conditions of temperature, composition, and particle size distribution is achieved throughout the bed because of complete mixing between the solids and gases obtained. Next is flash dryer. This flash dryer that utilizes superheated steam as the drying medium have some unique quality and energy advantages over air drying systems. The flash dryers consisting of inert media have been employed at pilot scales to dry slurry and suspension sprayed onto them. So the slurry, that is slurry, we know that how it will be like semi-solid, right? That semi-solid substances that should be dried. Okay, we can dry this thing. We can remove the moisture with this flash dryer. Next is drum or roller dryer. The drum dryer is an indirect type dryer in which the feed to be dried is maintained in a thin film on a rotating steam heated drum. The feed being dried is spread over the outside surface of the dryer, clinging to it. Drying continues as the hot drum rotates. At the end of the revolution, the drum comes to a doctor blade which scraps the dried film from the drum when the product has made about three-quarters of a complete rotation on the drum surface. This process is known as the roller drying. Next is vacuum dryer. This equipment is a good example of a conduction dryer. The vacuum oven consists of a jacketed vessel to withstand vacuum within the oven. There are supports for the shelves giving a larger area for conduction heat transfer. The oven can be closed by a door, and this oven is connected through a condenser and liquid reservoir to a vacuum pump. Operating pressure can be as low as 0.03 bar, at which the pressure's water boils at 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, vacuum dryer. This equipment is a good example of conduction of dryer. This vacuum oven consists of a jacketed vessel to withstand vacuum within a oven. Next is freeze drying. Is a process in which water is removed from a product after it is frozen and placed under a vacuum, allowing the ice to change directly from solid to vapor without passing through a liquid phase. Then disadvantages: non-uniform drying of a product at different locations in the system. The time required for drying is small. The major disadvantages of this type of dryers are the high labor cost involved during loading and unloading of the drying materials and the low capacities of the units. This type of dryers use trays or similar product holders to expose the product to heated air in an enclosed space. The trays holding the product inside a cabinet or similar enclosure are exposed to heated air so that dehydration will proceed. The air movement over the product surface is at relatively high velocities to ensure that the heat and mass transfer will proceed in an efficient manner, operated as batch systems. Basically, drying can be done by two processes: natural drying and mechanical dehydration, or artificial drying based on source of energy. Natural drying takes place under the influence of sunlight and wind and is of the three types, that is sun, solar, and shade drying. Types of drying. The drying can be done by two processes: natural drying and mechanical dehydration, or artificial drying based on the source of energy. The mechanical dehydration or artificial dehydration can be further classified into atmospheric and subatmospheric types based on the conditions employed in drying process. And the basis of mode of drying process: drying at atmospheric pressure conditions can be further divided in batch and continuous types. Mechanical drying includes the methods of drying. First one, heated air, direct contact with the heated surface; drum drying, application of energy from radiating microwave or dielectric source. Commercial dehydrators are generally large in size and various types of dehydrators that can be based on circulation areas, natural and forced drought. In natural drought, the rising of heated air brings about drying of food in the natural drought method. Examples include kiln, tower, and cabinet dryers. Forced drought employ currents of heated air that move across the food, usually in tunnels. An alternative method is to move the food or a conveyor belt or tray through heated air. Examples include tunnel or belt dryer. In forced drought dryer, the temperature and humidity can be carefully controlled to get a good dehydrated product, but are not in general use because of the cost. Advantages and disadvantages of sun drying. We know that there is no energy is required for this sun drying. But there is even if it is no energy is required also, there are so much of disadvantages in sun drying. That is slow drying process, time taking, molding of food that may occur due to slow drying. It cannot be carried out in dust, rainy weather. So these are all the advantages. And solar drying is used to design the structure to collect and enhance to improve the solar radiation. The solar dryers generate high air temperature and low humidity, which results in faster drying. This dryer is faster than sun drying and also requires less drying area, but it cannot be used on cloudy days. Generally, three types of solar dryers are used. The absorption or hot box type dryers, in which the product is directly heated by the sun. Number two, the indirect or convection dryers, in which the product is exposed to warm air, which is heated by means of the solar absorber or heat exchanger, and the dryer, which is combination of first and second type. Shade drying. This kind of method is used for food which lose their color when exposed to direct sunlight for drying. Generally, herbs, green and red chilies, okra and beans, etc. are dried under shaded area with good air circulation. Then yes, a foam scale dehydrator or dryer. It consists of a small galvanized box having dimension of 90 into 90 into 60 centimeter. The lower portion consists of perforated iron tray. The box is fitted onto a wooden frame, which is kept about 2 to 3 feet above ground. At the top of, there are two slits which can be closed by shutters. About 7 trays can be kept in the dryer. The material to be heated is kept on tray, and heating source can be a gas stove or any other source. The initial temperature of the dehydrator is usually 43 degrees Celsius, which is gradually increased to 60 to 66 degrees Celsius in the case of vegetables, and 67 to 71 degrees Celsius for fruits. Then oven drying. A conventional oven with a thermostatic setting of 60 degrees Celsius is suitable for oven drying of fruits, vegetables, fruit leathers, and meat. This is a kind of cabinet dryer. Then kiln dryer, also known as kiln evaporator. It consists of two floors. On the top floor, the food to be dried is spread on the lower floor. The furnace is housed, heat is conveyed by a ventilator. Then generally it is used for large pieces of food. Then the tower dryer. It is also called as a stake type of dryer. This dryer consists of a furnace room containing the furnace. Okay. For this type of dryer, it consists of a furnace room containing the furnace. Okay. For this dryer, we need the furnace. The heating pipes and the cabinet in which fruits are kept in a perforated trays. Okay. So that For this fruits and all, we can it can be dried with this help of this tower dryer. So the fruits are kept in a perforated tray, that a tray which will contain the perforation, that is the holes are open, something like that. Okay, perforated trays. The heated air from the furnace rises through the trays, so that furnace will be there. No, then the furnace it will produce the heat. Okay, the heated air from the furnace it rises through the tray, so it will goes to the trays. The heating is through steam coils placed between the trays. So the heating is through the steam coil. Okay, the coil will be there that is placed between the tray. In between the tray, there is a steam coil. The trays are interchanged as drying progresses. Next is we can see that a tunnel belt dryer. It consists of several parallel, sloping, and narrow chambers above a furnace room. The trays are passed on a conveyor belt at upper end and removed at the lower end. Air for drying is circulated by a fan. The humidity is controlled by occasionally letting in air. Heating can be direct or by radiation. The indirect heating, the heat is passed over material and it is sufficient. But there is a risk of overheating by radiation. Air is heated over pipes carrying hot gases from furnace. Steam pipes may also be used. Next is belt trough dryer. In this dryer, the belt is in the form of a trough, which is made of metal mesh. The hot air is blown through the mesh, and food pieces lying on the trough are dried in the process. Then fluidized bed drying. In this drying method, the food pieces are fed on a porous plate, and hot air is blown up from the pores through the food particles with just enough force to suspend them in a gentle boiling motion. The fresh food is fed from one side of the dryer and dried food is removed from the other end. Okay, the fluidized bed drying, the food pieces are fed on a porous plate. So, what we are discussing about that dryer, there is a porous, right? Porous plate, and hot air is blown up from the porous through the food particles with just enough the force to suspend them in a gentle boiling motion. The fresh food is fed from one side of the dryer, and dried food is removed from the other. Then foam mat drying. Pulps and concentrate are dried by this method. Small amounts of foaming agents are mixed with the fluid food materials and whipped to form low density stable foam. The foams are cast in the thin layers onto a tray or belt. The foaming is done to expose enormous surface area for quick moisture escape, resulting in rapid atmospheric drying at somewhat lower temperature. This is dried by spreading foam on trays as a mat at low temperature. This such a dehydration method is known as foam mat drying. Then spray drying. The spray dryer is used for dry pure low viscosity paste and liquids which can be atomized. The material is sprayed in a rapidly moving current of hot air. The dried product drops to the bottom of the drying chamber and is collected. That atomization into minute droplets results in drying in a matter of seconds with a common inlet air temperature of about 200 degrees Celsius, and properly designed system quickly removes the dried particles from heated zones. This method of dehydration can produce exceptionally high quality with many highly heat sensitive materials, including milk and coffee. And drum or roller drying, the foods in the form of puree and liquid are drying using this method. Orange flakes, baby foods, etc. The pulp of fruits is blended with a small quantity of edible starch, and then the blend is adjusted for the acidity. Microwave drying. In this method, the microwaves are used to dry the food product. Vacuum puffing and dehydration. For drying at a comparatively low temperature, vacuum dryers are necessary. Puffing of food is obtained by sudden application of vacuum, generally used for preparation of orange juice powder or the preparation of potato pieces with porous structure. The potato pieces are cooked and while hot, they are subjected to vacuum for a short period and then dried. This instant flashing of water vapor from inside leaves the texture porous and also facilitates the quick drying. Next, freeze drying. Fruits in these pieces and liquids are dried by this method. The fruit juice concentrates are manufactured using freeze drying. The material is frozen on trays and then dried under vacuum. Due to vacuum drying, the material dries directly without passing through the intermediate liquid stage. The principle behind the freeze drying is that under certain conditions of low vapor pressure, water can evaporate from ice without the ice melting. The freezing drying is generally used to dry sensitive and high value liquid as well as the solid food like juices, coffee powder, strawberries, chicken, then mushroom slices, etc. This method is costly because of the equipment is cost. Then accelerated freeze drying. This is used for drying pieces of food material without disturbing their shape and texture. The product has that is good reconstitution property, taste and flavor. As the material dries, the bulk of the pieces is gradually reduced by decreasing the clearance between the trays is reduced. The dried material retains its shape and regain it on rehydration, with etc. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you all.